Most people think saving money is the key to getting rich. They hold on tight to every dollar, afraid that if they spend it, they'll lose it forever. But that's a lie sold to you by the same system that wants to keep you working for the rest of your life. The truth is darker. Money only multiplies when it moves. The rich don't hold their money, they deploy it. Every dollar they spend is like a soldier sent out to conquer more territory. Meanwhile, the poor keep their money locked away in cages, thinking that's safety, but it's actually financial death. You were trained to fear loss from a young age. People around you said, "Save your money, don't take risks, play it safe." They didn't realize they were handing you the mindset of a servant. The master doesn't fear loss, he uses it. The master knows the only way to gain real power is to trade short-term comfort for long-term control. Every empire, every fortune, every dynasty was built by someone who spent money when everyone else was saving. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He saw that power always goes to those who dare to risk their resources strategically. Ask yourself, why do you think billionaires pour millions into businesses, networks, and influence campaigns when they could just live quietly off what they have? It's because they know stagnation is decay. If your money isn't working, you're not growing. You're dying. You think holding on to money keeps you safe, but safety is an illusion. Inflation eats away at your savings year after year. Fear freezes your progress. And while you're waiting for the right time, someone else is using their money to grab what you're too scared to chase: freedom. Let me share a secret the rich will never teach you outright. Money hates stillness. It decays in silence. It only grows when it circulates through opportunities, risks, and movement. That's why the wealthy seem so fearless when they spend. They're not just spending, they're investing in power. Every move is calculated, every expense a strategy. Poor people see spending as a loss. Rich people see it as leverage. Ever notice how the average person celebrates saving a few bucks, while the rich drop thousands on private dinners, masterminds, or exclusive events? The difference isn't just the wealth, it's the psychology. The poor protect their money, the rich protect their position. Because once you lose your position, your money won't save you. You'll always be one bad decision away from starting over. Let's test your mindset right now. Imagine you have $1,000 in your pocket. Would you buy new clothes, upgrade your phone, or invest it in a skill that could earn you $10,000 down the line? Most folks choose comfort, and that's why they stay trapped. They trade power for pleasure. They buy stuff to impress people who don't even care, instead of buying access to people who could change their lives. Here's the harsh truth. Your financial future isn't determined by how much you earn, but by what you do with what you earn. The rich treat this like it's the law of the land. Money is a tool, not a trophy. The second you start treating it like something to protect, you've already lost the game. Because the game of wealth rewards aggression, not caution. The world doesn't pay you for saving. It pays you for taking calculated risks. You can't build an empire from a savings account. You build it through decisions that scare you a little. But here's the big mistake most people make. They confuse spending with investing. They think all money movement is the same. It's not. When you spend to escape discomfort, that's weakness. When you spend to increase your capability, that's power. The poor spend to look rich. The rich spend to become richer. Every decision gets filtered through one question: will this make me stronger in the long run? Think about that. The rich aren't just smarter with money, they're colder. They treat every dollar like a weapon. They spend it to remove weaknesses, buy information, buy time, buy control. Meanwhile, the average person spends to numb pain, feel good for a bit, or pretend they're winning. It's not the amount of money that matters. It's the mindset behind its movement. And if you think this is all about greed, you've missed the point. This is about survival in a system designed to reward motion and punish hesitation. Look around you. Opportunities don't wait. They move fast, and they reward the bold. The moment you stop moving, you become irrelevant. Machiavelli would call that the death of fortune, the point where luck abandons you because you refused to act. Now let me ask you something real. How much money have you lost by playing it safe? How many chances have you missed because you were scared to spend? Maybe it was that course you skipped, the business you didn't start, or the connection you didn't pursue. You told yourself you couldn't afford it. But the truth is, you couldn't afford not to, because every moment you delay growth, someone else is buying your future with their courage. The powerful understand something you might not yet. Every decision you make with money either strengthens your control or weakens it. Every purchase is a vote for the life you want. If you're constantly buying distractions, you're voting for mediocrity. If you're spending on knowledge, tools, and leverage, you're voting for dominance. The rich don't ask, "Can I afford this?" They ask, "What will this cost me if I don't do it?" That's the forbidden rule. The poor think in price, what you pay right now. The rich think in cost, what you lose later if you don't act. A poor mindset says, "That's too expensive." A rich mindset says, "What will it cost me if I stay the same?" That one shift separates those who grow from those who decay. You might think this sounds ruthless, and it is, because the game of wealth is ruthless. The world rewards those who get motion, leverage, and timing. It punishes those who wait. You've been told patience is a virtue, but that's only true for the weak. For the powerful, patience is a weapon. They use it strategically, not passively. They wait only when it boosts their odds, not when it's just protecting their fear. So here's the brutal truth. If you're not using your money to buy power, you're being used by someone who is. Every dollar you hoard is working for someone else. While your money sleeps, theirs is awake. Compounding, building influence, buying access, creating opportunities. You're saving in a bank? That bank is using your money to get richer. You're saving for safety? Inflation is robbing you silently every day. The game isn't fair, but it is learnable. Once you learn it, everything changes. You start seeing spending differently. No more guilt for investing in yourself. No more asking permission to take risks. You realize every great empire started with a decision that looked reckless to the average person. Machiavelli would say fortune favors the bold, but more accurately, it favors the strategic. The difference between a gambler and a strategist is control. One throws money into chaos. The other directs it with purpose. That's the first step to real wealth. Understanding that spending isn't the enemy. Ignorance is. The poor lose money because they spend without reason. The rich grow money because they spend with intention. It's not about how much you have. It's about how you use it. Money in motion builds momentum. Momentum builds opportunity. And opportunity, when seized, builds power. So stop worshiping money. Start commanding it. Because if you don't control your money, someone else will control you with theirs. Now that you get the truth about money in motion, let's dive deeper into the core principles that separate those who rise from those who stay trapped. These aren't just theories. They're real tactical rules used by people who build power quietly, strategically, and without mercy. Once you understand them, you'll start seeing the world like the rich do. Core Principle 2. Spend to build capability. The poor buy comfort. The rich buy capability. It's that simple. You can't grow if your money doesn't make you more dangerous in the marketplace. Every dollar you spend should boost your ability to earn more later. That's how empires are built. Not by saving, but by turning spending into skills and advantages. Think about it like this. A guy who saves $1,000 might feel smart for a minute, but that money just sits there, slowly dying from inflation. Another guy takes that same $1,000 and uses it to learn sales, copywriting, or investing, something that makes him more valuable forever. A year later, he's pulling in $10,000 a month because he used money to level up his capability. The difference? One played safe, the other played smart. The system doesn't reward hard work alone, it rewards usefulness. If your skills don't multiply your output, you stay stuck, no matter how hard you grind. That's why the rich treat education like a weapon. They drop thousands to learn from winners. They pay for access to rooms that cut through the noise. Because one solid idea, one key conversation, one insight can flip your entire life. But most people hesitate. They say, I can learn it for free online. Sure you can, but time is the most expensive thing you have. Free info costs you years of trial and error. Paid info costs money, but gives you speed. The rich buy speed. The poor buy time. One builds leverage. The other wastes it. I knew a guy who wouldn't spend $200 on a freelancing course, said it was too pricey. Instead, he spent 2 years fumbling around on his own. Meanwhile, someone else grabbed the course, applied it, and was making $5,000. There's a month in just a few months. The lesson? Being cheap with money makes you expensive in time. Every time you skip investing, you drag out your struggle. Machiavelli would tell you, fortune favors the man who moves fast. Not reckless, but fast. Opportunities don't last. They decay like fruit left on the vine. Once they rot, all that potential is gone. The bold act while others wait. They use money to open doors that fear keeps locked. So when you spend, ask yourself, does this make me more capable or just more comfortable? One path leads to power, the other to weakness. The person who spends to grow becomes unstoppable. The one who spends to escape stays stuck forever. Core Principle 3. Spend to buy position. Now that we've covered capability, let's talk about something even more powerful: position. The rich don't just buy things, they buy placement. They know that in life, who you stand next to matters way more than how hard you work. Money can buy access, and access buys influence. Influence, in turn, buys everything else. You could be the most skilled person out there, but if no one sees you, you're invisible. The rich get that visibility creates opportunity. That's why they spend to get into rooms where deals happen, not just chit-chat spots. They don't network randomly. They buy their way into environments where power already flows. Take this example. A guy once shelled out $10,000 for a private event with an investor group. To most, that sounds nuts. But there, he met a business partner who helped him make $500,000 in a year. Was that $10,000 an expense or an investment? The poor call it wasteful. The rich call it leverage. That's how power works. You buy access to higher levels. You position yourself near opportunity instead of waiting for it to knock. The poor wait for luck. The rich manufacture it. They spend to enter circles that multiply their influence. They understand relationships built with money can outlast the money itself. Look at history. Kings didn't just build armies, they bought alliances. They used wealth to lock in position before the war even kicked off. That's how they won. Deals were sealed before swords clashed. Influence was purchased before battles began. It's the same game today, just through investments, partnerships, and social capital. Ask yourself, where does your money go? Towards stuff that raises your status, or things that feel good for a few hours? The poor spend on consumption. The rich spend on positioning. They'll drop $2,000 on travel if it lands them in a room with millionaires, but skip $200 on sneakers that just make them look flashy. Because looking rich doesn't make you rich. Being seen by the right people does. But here's the dark truth. You'll never get that access if you're scared to pay for it. The system filters out the broke-minded from the opportunity-minded. That's why most never get in. They can't stomach the price. They think in scarcity, not strategy. They see doors as walls, but every door opens with the right payment. Not always cash, but value, sacrifice, or boldness. Say you want to build a business. You could grind it out alone, slow and painful, or pay for mentorship, join a high-level community, and learn from folks who've done it. One path costs money, the other costs years. You pick your price, but you pay either way. So stop asking how to save money. Start asking how to use it to buy position. When you're in the right spot, opportunities chase you. The higher your position, the less effort you need. That's leverage, the art of making others or systems work for you. Once you taste that power, you won't go back. You'll realize the goal wasn't just making money, it was making money work for you. That's the shift that divides the rich from the poor forever. Machiavelli would call it the art of controlled risk. Spend strategically to strengthen your position before your next move. You don't enter the arena blind. You pay for info, alliances, and weapons. Then, you strike. That's how power gets built. Quietly, deliberately, with money as your sword. So remember these two laws. Spend to build capability, making yourself more dangerous. Spend to buy position, placing yourself closer to power. Everything else? It's noise, weakness dressed up as pleasure. When you start thinking this way, the world stops seeming unfair. You see why some folks look lucky. They're not. They're strategic. They buy into fortune before others even spot the chance. You'll notice patterns. Who's investing in growth? Who's stuck consuming? Who's faking it while others win? The truth is, wealth isn't made through saving or wishing. It's made through deployment. The rich move money with intent. The poor with emotion. That's the whole difference. Now, before we hit the next principles, hold on to this. Money doesn't vanish when you spend it. It transforms. The question is, what are you turning it into? Power or weakness? Growth or distraction? Freedom or chains? The choice is yours, but your results will show what kind of player you are. Core Principle 4. Spend to gain leverage. Leverage is the hidden engine behind every major fortune. It's what lets one person control the efforts of hundreds or thousands without breaking a sweat. It's what turns a single smart decision into a snowballing chain of wealth. And here's the tough pill to swallow. Leverage always costs money up front. The poor steer clear of it. The rich actively buy it. Leverage means using your money to multiply your output way beyond what you could do alone. It's how the rich break free from the grind of trading hours for dollars. They spend to build systems, hire talent, and grab tools that keep generating value even when they're off the clock. A poor mindset? Trying to handle everything yourself to save a buck. But that just keeps you small and burned out forever. A rich mindset asks, how can I spend this money to get 10 people working while I focus on the big picture? Think about the math here. If you're earning $50 an hour, but wasting time on tasks someone else could handle for $10 an hour, you're not saving. You're leaking $40 every single hour. The rich get this on an instinctual level. They use money to buy back time, sharpen their focus, and scale up operations. Every dollar they draw on leverage hands them hours of pure power in return. Let me paint a picture with a real story. There was this guy named Elias who kicked off a small online business. At the start, he was doing it all: marketing, design, emails, customer support. He was wiped out and barely scraping by. Then one day, he bit the bullet and hired a virtual assistant for $300 a month. Boom! That simple move doubled his income in just a few weeks. Why? It freed him up to zero in on sales and strategy, where he could really shine. He spent money, sure, but what he really bought was momentum. The poor would label that wasteful and say, "Nah, I'll tough it out myself." But that's exactly how the system hooks you, keeps you buried in busy work so you never scale to something massive. The rich know money's true job is to buy you freedom from the soul-sucking tasks. That's how they keep climbing. They swap themselves out of the equation bit by bit until the whole machine hums along without them needing to micromanage. Machiavelli would put it like this: the wise ruler doesn't swing his own sword if he can hire a soldier to do the dirty work. That's leverage in action. You don't fight every skirmish personally. You pay to command the army. The same goes for your finances. Don't be the grunt in the trenches. Be the commander directing capital and people to amp up your results. So if you're serious about growth, quit hoarding cash out of fear. Deploy it to snag leverage, tools, automation, a team, systems, even influence. Every dollar chilling idle is a missed shot at expanding your empire. The real question isn't, can I afford to delegate? It's, how much longer can I afford to juggle everything solo? Core Principle 5. Spend to buy time. Time is the ultimate currency, more precious than money because you can't fake it or borrow it back. The poor fritter their lives away trading it for scraps. The rich? They spend money like it's nothing to reclaim boatloads of it. They know every tick of the clock has a price tag. Every delay, every "I'll get to it later," every hesitation is a hit you can't recover from. Poor folks act like time's infinite. They'll burn days haggling to save a few bucks, stand in lines for hours chasing discounts, or take the scenic route just to dodge a toll. The rich flip the script. They'll drop cash without blinking to speed things up. Skip the hassle. Buy that edge. Because they get it. Time, not cash, is the real gold. Here's a gem most people miss. The quicker you move, the more doors open to you. The world stashes its best rewards away from the slowpokes. The rich don't just get richer by chance, they can hustle faster. They decide quicker, act swifter, and bounce back from slip-ups faster because they didn't squander time second-guessing. Someone who truly values their time knows money's replaceable, but hours aren't. You can grind and make more cash, but a squandered year? Gone forever. That's why the rich spend boldly to seize back their time, hiring help, automating the grind, outsourcing the fluff. Every smart buy is a grab for extra hours in your life. I once chatted with a consultant who charged $5,000 for one session. When folks asked why the steep price, he shrugged, "Because I can shave 5 years off your learning curve." That's peak rich thinking. They're not shelling out for info, they're paying for acceleration, for hacks that compress timelines. And that's their secret sauce. While everyone else crawls, they're sprinting ahead. Take a hard look at your own day. How much time do you bleed on stuff that doesn't build you up? How many hours slip away on chores you could hand off or automate? Every lost hour chips away at your potential. Every savvy spend that reclaims time, that's a leap toward true freedom. And here's the Machiavellian edge. Mastering time is mastering power. The guy who owns his schedule owns his destiny. The one who doesn't? He's serving someone who does. Core Principle 6. Spend to create substitution. This is where things get icy. Substitution is the subtle art of using money to swap out dependencies, making yourself bulletproof while keeping others on their toes. The rich wield it to become indispensable and render everyone else replaceable. It's a quiet power play that sneaks up on you until it's checkmate. When you can slot yourself, your business, or your network into spots others can't touch, you dictate the rules. The poor tie themselves to one lifeline, a single job, client, income stream, or platform. The rich? They invest money to forge backups, so if one crumbles, another kicks in seamlessly. That's substitution, swapping vulnerability for a web of options. Picture a content creator glued to one social platform, one algorithm tweak or ban, and poof, game over. But a sharp creator spends on an email list, targeted ads, and spreading across channels. If the main spot tanks, their setup holds strong. That's not fluke, that's foresight. It scales to everything: business, relationships, influence. Power flows from having choices, and choices demand investment. Another angle: a business owner banking on one supplier is fragile. But if they front the cash for 2 or 3 alternatives, they're ironclad. One supplier flakes? Switch without missing a beat. No sweat, just pivot. That's why heavy hitters stay cool in storms. They prepaid for their outs. Machiavelli nailed this ages back. A ruler leaning on others is always exposed. But one who can swap out allies, suppliers, or threats on a dime? Untouchable. In today's world, it means pouring money into self-reliance. You can't be manipulated if you've already funded your plan Bs. This isn't just for operations, it's life strategy. Spend to build substitution in your income, clout, skills. The poor cling to one paycheck. The rich craft streams that flow rain or shine. The poor bet on one boss. The rich weave networks that keep gigs coming, even in a downturn. Substitution equals power via redundancy. It costs cash now, but delivers unbreakable peace later. The instant you can ditch your crutches, you're liberated. So approach spending like a general. Every buck should snag leverage, time, or substitution. Layer those 3, and you've got total command. You're rock solid, you're a force, you're independent. The poor view spending as subtraction. The rich see it as alchemy, transmuting cash into power, power into tempo, time into supremacy. Sit with this shadow truth. Money's meant to circulate, not collect dust. Hoarded piles fatten banks and bureaucrats. Deployed funds fuel your rise. That's the chasm between system slaves and its architects. The system drills hoarding into you while siphoning your stash to swell itself. The rich invert it. They deploy to unplug entirely. So etch this in. Every spend isn't a mere swap. It's a chess move. It edges you toward victory or inches you from the cliff. Most drift through unaware, but once this clicks, spending transforms in your eyes. The aim isn't caution, it's precision. Not scrimping, but strategic outlays. Not possessing cash, but wielding what it unlocks. Master this, and your money evolves from buyer of trinkets to breeder of self-sustaining power. Core Principle 7. Spend to forge alliances. Alliances are the invisible threads that bind fortunes. The rich don't build alone. They spend to weave networks that amplify everything they touch. Money buys loyalty, shared vision, and mutual gain, turning solo players into unstoppable coalitions. The poor chase connections for free, scattering efforts like confetti. The rich invest deliberately, targeting bonds that yield exponential returns. Why? Because no empire stands solo. Every titan has a circle, advisors, partners, mentors who multiply their reach. Think of it. A lone wolf survives. A pack dominates. Spend on dinners that spark deals, memberships that open doors, gifts that cement ties. These aren't expenses. They're bridges to collective power. The poor network sporadically. The rich cultivate strategically, using cash as the glue. I recall a startup founder who allocated 10% of early profits to relationship capital. Coffees, events, even small stakes in peers' ventures. Within a year, those ties landed funding and collabs that skyrocketed him. The poor hoard, the rich bond. Machiavelli advised princes to secure alliances before enemies strike. Same here. Buy your army of influence early. Spend to align with winners, and their momentum carries you. Core Principle 8. Spend to weaponize information. Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. The rich spend voraciously on intel, courses, consultants, data tools. They don't guess, they know. The poor skim free scraps, staying surface level. The rich dive deep, paying for edges that predict trends, spot gaps, crush competition. Information asymmetry wins wars. Spend to arm yourself with foresight. Example, traders dropping thousands on premium analytics while amateurs wing it on headlines. The payoff? Consistent wins. Machiavelli, knowledge of the terrain wins battles. Modern twist, buy the map. Core Principle 9. Spend to cultivate resilience. Fortune's fickle. Resilience endures. The rich spend on buffers, emergency funds invested wisely, insurance, diversified assets, not fear-driven saving, but proactive armor. The poor react to crises broke. The rich preempt them flush. Build redundancies, health, mindset training. Spend to bend, not break, Machiavelli. Adapt or perish. Use money to fortify your core. Core Principle 10. Spend to inspire motion in others. True power, mobilizing masses. The rich spend on vision, marketing, incentives, culture that ignites teams, customers, followers. The poor lead by example alone. The rich lead by investment, fueling others' drive. A motivated network scales you effortlessly. Spend on what moves people, bonuses, experiences, shared wins. Machiavelli knew, loyal armies conquer. These principles interlock, forming a machine of wealth. Deploy money thus, and it returns manifold. Stagnate, and it withers. You've journeyed through the shadows of spending. Now, act. Transform hoarding into command. Your empire awaits, not in savings, but in motion. As we wrap up these core principles, let's tie it all together and really let this sink in. You've seen how the rich don't just accumulate money. They weaponize it through motion, capability, position, leverage, time, and substitution. These aren't fluffy ideas. They're the blueprint for breaking free from the trap most people never escape. But understanding them is only half the battle. The real power comes when you start applying them, day in and day out, without apology. Let me pull back for a second and reflect on what we've covered so far. It all starts with that fundamental shift. Money in motion isn't reckless, it's essential. The poor clutch their dollars like lifelines, watching them erode under inflation and missed opportunities. The rich? They launch them like arrows, aimed at targets that multiply everything they touch. And the principles we've unpacked are the aiming mechanism. Take capability again, spending to sharpen your edge. It's not about buying gadgets, it's about buying skills that make you indispensable. Position? That's investing in the rooms and relationships that pull opportunities toward you, rather than chasing them endlessly. Leverage turns your solo efforts into a symphony of scaled results, where your money hires the orchestra so you can conduct. Time? The rich treat it as sacred, spending cash to compress years into months, staying ahead of the curve while others lag. And substitution, that cold, calculated redundancy, ensures no single failure can topple your empire. It's like building a fortress with multiple gates. If one falls, the others hold. Layer these together, and you create what Machiavelli might call a virtuous cycle of power. Each spend reinforces the others. You build capability to enter better positions, leverage to reclaim time, substitution to protect it all. It's a self-sustaining machine. But ignore them, and you're just another cog, grinding away for someone else's fortune. Now, I want to address something that might be bubbling up for you right now. Maybe you're thinking, this all sounds great, but where do I even start? I don't have billions like those billionaires. Fair point. The beauty of these principles is they're scalable. They work whether you've got $100 or $100 million. Start small, but start intentional. That $50 you were going to blow on takeout? Redirect it to a podcast subscription or a quick online workshop that hones a skill. The $200 sitting in your account? Use it for a networking event or a tool that automates a chore, buying you back hours. The key is mindset. Stop seeing every outflow as a loss. Frame it as an investment in your sovereignty. Ask, does this spend align with one of these principles? Will it make me more capable, position me better, give me leverage? If not, pause. If yes, pull the trigger without guilt. The rich don't second guess, they calculate and commit. Let me share a quick story to make this real. I know a friend, let's call him Alex, who was stuck in a dead-end job, saving every penny but going nowhere. He read about these ideas and decided to test them. First, capability. He spent $150 on a copywriting course. Within 3 months, he was freelancing on the side, pulling in extra cash. That funded his next move, position. He dropped $300 on a local business meetup. There, he connected with a mentor who introduced him to clients. Leverage came next. With his growing income, he hired a part-time editor for $200 a month, freeing him to take on more work. Time followed. He automated his invoicing and emails, saving hours weekly. And substitution? He diversified. Built an email list and started a side blog, so he wasn't reliant on one platform or client. A year later, Alex quit his job, earning triple what he did before. No inheritance, no windfall, just strategic spends turning scarcity into abundance. That's the proof. These principles aren't for the elite, they're for anyone willing to move. But here's where it gets deeper and a bit uncomfortable. The system we live in is rigged to keep you hesitant. Banks love your savings. They lend it out and profit while you earn pennies. Governments tax your hoards, but incentivize their own spending sprees. Social media flaunts consumption to keep you chasing status symbols instead of real leverage. It's all designed to make you feel safe in stagnation, but as we've seen, stagnation is slow suicide. Machiavelli warned about this in his own way. Fortune is like a river, calm until the flood. Then it drowns the unprepared. The rich don't wait for the waters to rise. They spend to build dams, channels, and reservoirs ahead of time. They use money to navigate the currents, not get swept away. You can do the same. Start by auditing your last month's expenses. How much went to distractions versus these principles? Be honest. Then, plan your next spends with intention. It's not about being perfect. It's about progressing. One more layer. These principles extend beyond money. They're a philosophy for life. Spend time to build capability in relationships, health, mindset. Position yourself in communities that uplift. Leverage your energy wisely. Buy back moments with loved ones. Create substitutions for stress, hobbies, routines, support networks. Wealth isn't just financial, it's total control over your destiny. If you're feeling fired up, that's the point. This isn't passive viewing, it's a call to action. Pause this video right now and jot down one spend you'll make this week aligned with these ideas. A book on investing? A gym membership for resilience? A coffee with a potential ally? Do it. Momentum starts with the first step. And remember the core truth we've circled back to. The poor think spending is losing. The rich know it's shifting, turning money into power, power into Timmy, time into dominance. Money exists to be deployed, not dormant. Hoarded, it feeds the beasts of the system. Circulated strategically, it builds your kingdom. So, every time you reach for your wallet, know you're not just transacting, you're playing the game. Each choice edges you toward mastery or mediocrity. Most never realize the board exists, but you do now. Play calculated. Spend to command. Your future self will thank you. If this resonated, hit that like button, subscribe for more on breaking the money myths, and drop a comment. What's one principle you're applying first? Let's build this community of strategic thinkers. Thanks for watching. Go deploy that money wisely.